They just stopped showing up one day and nobody knows what happened.
We audible? Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood. When we last left off, the party made their final preparations in the Sun Dragon capital of Capacitas for the preparations to join the militia in their march to reinforce their allies to the south. Autumnfall stands alone against the armies of Barbarous, as Tebadra, Blackthorn, and Shadow Lily have gone back on their oath to join the Western Alliance and fight the Scar Concord in the fields, on the beaches, in the cities, in their homes. So Sun Dragon, with Tropu Bikok finally off their back, intends to keep her word. She is a woman of many things, muscles and her word. The party made a new acquaintance in the form of Tuco Slitherite, a overly sized halfling from the Curtail Kanat, who has some personal business to resolve and will assist the party in their battle against the Concord in exchange for assistance with their matters, which they have so far been mum to. The party's Geogran Colonel, after a wish spell gone awry, has had their name permanently on a magical reality level altered to be What's-His. And after a bit of argument amongst themselves, Sundragon made the executive decision that the army would be marching south, which does not hinder the Humor Empire, who are currently at war with the giant territories to the north, but minimizes the chance of running low on supplies. With that, the militia is making a stop in the Sundragon city of Chilblains, a oasis city of trade and sailing that is currently dealing with a widespread plague after Tropu's deforesting for fuel for their massive impractical airship drove a nest of Strixes into the oasis, where they now spread disease among the inhabitants. Sundragon has gone to the bathhouse, where Lord Ephemeral of Chilblains currently resides to treat their ailment, along with the other infected of the city. Tuco, Caro, Lucian, and Caleb have all gone with to oversee the negotiations, while What's-His and Zephyr currently wait at the caravan, along with the bulk of the militia, unaware of anything happening within the city. And night is beginning to fall, and from what the infected and guardsmen have said, that is when the Strixes hunt. So it remains to be seen if Zephyr and What's-His, being unawares and unprepared out in the desert when the Strixes descend, might be an issue.
They have to see me first. I'm invisible.
Very true.
Rip Zephyr.
They have to catch me first, so.
Yeah, they have to see him and catch you. Lord Ephemeral, deeply infected by the Adama plague, looks over all of you with an air of suspicion and hostility. Their eyes are bloodshot and gangrenous. Their skin is pallid and yellowing. And you notice that while a lot of the infected are throwing up frequently, when he does it, it's noticeably blood. Lucian, you managed to identify the disease spreading amongst the people as the Adama plague, otherwise known by colloquialisms such as Bronze John, Yellow Jack, or in some of the western territories of the world, Zekik, which means black vomit. There is no known.
No, I ran out.
There is no known cure. However, you do know some methods of relieving the symptoms, many of which the Sun Dragon people are employing on the infected as best they can. Right. As you all stand disrobed and bowing before Lord Ephemeral, he raises his hand, allowing all of you to rise. And looking to Sundragon, but his bloodshot, yellowing eyes glance over all of you as he speaks in a hoarse voice racked by coughing and vomiting. I welcome you all to Chillblains. What brings you to my city?
we we're trying to help Yav. There are these people who want to destroy our great countries and the people in it.
The Concord.
The very same.
I heard rumors of their incursion at the Summer Ball. They bring a plague wherever they go, creating monsters and beasts in their wake. Elemental beasts of chemistry and alchemy that destroy all they touch.
They are very terrible creature. We call them Icar bees. But all of us in this team of acquaintances all have a reason to help, you know, and that is just the desire to make sure that this place doesn't, you know, go to the seven hells.
He gives a slow nod, kind of sucking on the rock for calcium as he kind of looks over the rest of you. His eyes kind of flicking up and down as he takes in Caleb, Caro, and Tuco before his eyes.
We came here with the queen.
She kind of gives a wave.
She's been instrumental in assisting us to here, and I said a dog.
Queen Sundragon gives a bow and
I think the biggest thing to know is that we are marching down to Barbarous because he is a part of this. And I know that he is distasteful in his ruling. So it was my suggestion that we relieve him of those burdens.
Also, Caleb's gonna be like, you know, this is the Queen's campaign. Maybe they should be the one doing the talking.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he did act.
Lord Ephemeral gives a nod, and indeed, I find it distasteful when those who are fit to lead simply follow silently. Is that not right, my lady? She gives a smile and a low bow, and you're quite right, Lord Ephemeral. I was hoping that if you can spare any troops, the druids of this oasis might join our march. My city has been struck by the Concord, as you are well aware, and he gives a slow nod as he kind of reclines into the bathwater, and the two elvish maidens flanking him start to kind of scrub him down. My people are willing to fight, but we lack the versatility and strategic variety we may need going up against an army like Governor Barbaros's. If the druids of your lands could spare their talents and magic to assist us, our chances would fare a lot better, my lord. He looks down into the bath water, which, Tuco, as you kind of like crane your head a little bit to look at the elvish maidens to the best of your ability, you notice that the water is like so hot and steaming that it's like hard to make out anything. And he turns his red and yellowed eyes up to look over all of you. That foul, cloying smell of sickness still in the air. Understand, my queen, that ordinarily I would like nothing more than to employ the great druids of Chilblains and the masters of the Citrine Desert and Pomoshki Flats to assist in your march, my lady, but my druids, and he gestures to the elvish maidens, are all that stands between my people and the plague destroying us all, and this once great land being left to the Strixes. And Sundragon kind of gives a low nod, and Caleb, it kind of occurs to you, and Caro, you think about it as well, as you two were the first to enter the city and took the time to just kind of explore more than just heading straight to the bathhouse. Despite the plague seeming like such a big deal, you do notice that you didn't see any bodies. And while there is the kind of swampy, stagnant water smell in the air, there's not the smell of death. Which, while Caro, you're not exactly intimately familiar with such a thing, it is still noteworthy that, yeah, I was going to say, Caleb, you do notice that for a city racked with plague, you didn't see any bodies and you can't smell the death in the air. Likely, from what he's saying, the druids are either keeping people alive or, from what you know of Lucian's magic, potentially even reviving them when they die. My treasury is draining. My people are suffering. And treatments remain ineffective. A temporary measure at best.
I kind of give Sundragon a friendly poke. Just like a little jab with my pinky.
She gives you a smile, and if it was possible to alleviate the suffering of your people, would you be willing to part with the services of your druids for my militia's march to the Southern Territories? Ephemeral kind of sucks on the rock contemplatively before. I would be willing to consider it if you can alleviate my people and myself of our ailments. Oh, go on.
Relieving of ailments, you say? As again, Tuco just kind of... Tuco makes to reach for his vest before realizing he doesn't have it anymore and then looks kind of annoyed.
Sundragon kind of smiles to you and gives you a wink before turning back to him. I happen to have in my employ, and you can see she's kind of thinking about what word best describes her relationship with the group of you, a few who are masters of healing the sick, or at the very least alleviating their pain. And those who lack medical talent have the ability to destroy what spreads it. Ephemeral kind of looks to her briefly, but then you notice his gaze flicks to Lucian and Tuco, his eyes kind of darting back and forth between the two of you in particular, and his gaze settles on He kind of waves a hand, and one of the elvish maidens kind of leans over and kind of mumbles a spell as she waves her hand over the water, and you notice the water heats up even more significantly, and his gaze kind of like relaxes, and he like sinks into the water, and he takes like a deep destroy the nest and heal the sick, and you will have your army, my queen. Otherwise, I will let you leave this city. But, and his eyes dart to Lucian and Tuco again, I will give you nothing if you give me nothing. My loyalty is to you, my lady, but I have my own people to consider. And Sundragon kind of bows and gives a nod. The well-being of the people I've entrusted to your care always comes first, my lord. And she moves to approach Lord Ephemeral, who, to her credit, even though he smells terrible and it can't get any better being close to him, she extends her hand, he extends his, and you, Lucian, you expect them to go into the traditional royal, like, kissing of the fingers, but instead she kind of brings him into that, like, Viking style, like, arm in arm brother gesture.
Yeah,
Yeah, brother. And the two of them just lock eyes and force their arms together. And she gives a smile. My people will do what they can, as long as they are treated with civility, Lord Ephemeral. I understand, Lady Sundragon. And he leans back into the water, and she steps away. And is there a place we can stay nearby? He gives a nod and waves his hand, and you see one of the people in the baths who's helping treat one of the sick kind of gives a nod and steps out of the bath and starts like drying themselves off and getting dressed. My squire will escort you to a lodge in town.
May I ask one question?
What is your name, miss?
Lucian Elefikir.
You come from the wicked Commonwealth, do you not?
I do.
A strange thing to see a Wakeshan this far west.
Well, it's a good story. It's an excellent story, but
I would be intrigued to hear it when the time is allowed.
I think that's doable. Actually, I've got nothing to hide. I will tell you everything.
I think what he's trying to say is that we've got other things to worry about, miss. There's people literally dying.
I know, but I wanted to ask a question, is the thing. It's actually important because I want to,
Sundragon kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. Lulu,
I need
remember to
to
keep your head in front of the Lord.
I need to ask this. I promise
She
it's
kind of-
not bad.
She kind of tightens her grip on your shoulder and, Lulu, ask the question.
Are there bodies I can look at? Like, where do you put your dead?
Make a persuasion check.
Like, I'm sorry I couldn't get it out, but like, whatever. I don't know why I rolled 2 dice. I'll just roll this one. That's cocked. Not good. 3.
He kind of scrunches his face a little bit, and you notice his eyes start to kind of dart around at the various sick in the tubs, and you may examine the infected, my lady, but I will not allow you to desecrate the graves. I know what your family's business is, and I do not wish for my people to suffer such a grisly fate.
So I'll just kind of give a bow and just hate myself.
He kind of sucks on the rock and looks to Tuco now, and he stares at you for a moment, and you can see the elvish maiden who hadn't cast the spell whisper in his ear for a moment before he nods and kind of licks the rock slowly before he speaks to you. I am told that you carry medicines with you.
Tuco grins. It's friendly, but he's a rat man, so it looks a little sus.
Yeah, a little sinister.
Yeah, no, you've been told correctly. I deal in cures, and I also deal in explosions, and I deal in the cures that fix the people that had problems from those explosions.
May I have your name, young halfling?
Tuco Slitherite.
He gives a slow nod. Are you a doctor by trade?
I practice. And you know what they say? Practice makes perfect.
We shall hope, Sir Slitherite. You and Lady Alephakir will treat the infected, alleviate our symptoms, and the rest of you. And he looks to Caleb and Caro. Find the nest and destroy it, by any means necessary. If these conditions are met, you shall have your army. And he gives the rock another long lick before settling back into the bathwater, seeming for now done, unless anyone else has any business with him.
Actually, Tuco would like to ask something.
Go for it.
He would be gesturing to the rock. By the way, can I ask, what's that rock you're licking on?
Yellowjack thins our blood. Our druids say that the stones of the Pomoshi Flats contain materials that, if entering our bodies through the mouth, may restore some of the power of our blood.
So, what you're telling me is that it's probably thinning your iron.
He gives a nod. That is what I've been told, yes.
Right. Do you know if there's any ore deposits of that nearby?
He glances to the man who is now getting fully dressed, and as he's tying his boots on, he kind of looks up and sees the Lord Ephemeral staring at him and nods to all of you. We would have to go into the Pomoshi Flats. It would take us about a day's march, but there's also some at the bottom of the lake, if any of your party can get down there to gather them.
Right. Right then. You can see him weigh the options in his mind before.
Carol should be able to do that. Can't you swim underwater, Carol?
Caro? Ranger down.
Afraid she's a bit shy.
And I also have a cloak that could help with doing that as well.
And just to recap, are you offering to come with me to the swamps? Stream? Or are you offering to come with me to the other ore deposit?
Are you referring to the man that spoke to you?
Caleb.
Oh, Caleb, okay.
Oh, yeah, I have a cloak that can help with the water.
Alright, sounds like we're gonna go for a swim.
You guys know I have magic, right? Where I can, we could just walk on the water.
But we need to go under the water.
We could just breathe like normally.
Well, alright, well, so when you put it like that, Sheila, it sounds fun.
My cloak can do that too, and plus you're going to be needed helping the sick.
I can do both.
Sounds a little hard there, man.
I think...
Well, at least I can point you in the right direction, at least.
Alright, so it sounds like we got us a field trip for some geology rocks.
Queen Sundragon gives a smile and turns back to Lord Ephemeral and goes into another bow. Well,
Actually, water breathing lasts 8 hours, so
It's a
I
simple
could
day
just
trip.
cast it, and then you guys are golden.
Yeah, but Caleb can also just use the Cloak of the Manta Ray and you don't have to use a spell slot.
I mean, it
Which
covers
lets
like
him-
10 people, so
Well, if she wants to help, let her help the way she wants to. It's alright. Just so long as we help these people.
yeah.
I guess if What's and Zephyr want to help them, you can use that on them.
I'm not
But-
counting on Zephyr, but I know that at least What's It has a heart.
But
well,
my cloak will let me be underwater indefinitely.
Good, that would be helpful. But you would
Alright.
be covered if something would happen to your cloak.
sounds like we've got something of a plan. If you'll excuse us, my lord, my troops will be expecting me, and I'll need to see to it that my companions are able to lodge comfortably at where you've so generously allowed us to stay. And I'm sure that my companions will not find any of their belongings spontaneously missing from their possession when they are returned. He kind of gives a bit of a smirk after a minute, and of course, my queen. And he starts sucking on the rock again, and doesn't even like properly dismiss you from his person. Just kind of waves a hand offhandedly, and the man who he assigned to be your guide steps forward, now fully clothed again, and come, I will show you to your lodgings. We will need to get off the streets before night falls.
I'm going to send a message to What's on the way and just kind of fill him in. Be like, hey, you might not want to stay out all night. There are these really creepy bug things that are going to like give you basically malaria, and then just bad. Just, and then I'll tell him where we're going.
All that in 25
Where
words.
I have not written it down, so Amanda doesn't know.
All right, I'll say as you're getting to your second candy and about to start popping your third,
Oh,
which would be the one
God.
that turns you invisible. And Zephyr, you're just taking in what rays of sunlight you can get on the roof of the carriage as the militia and you guys' assembled pack are just basically setting up camp for the night out in the desert. You get a message from Lucien in the city, just informing you that you may not want to stay out as there's creatures that could get you ill, and she mentions that the rest of the party will be staying in the city.
And the last thing that she notes is, please tell Zephyr, because I don't want to,
You're saying a lot.
you
You're saying
know,
a lot.
just
You're
tell
saying,
Zephyr.
you're saying a lot in this one spell.
It's 25 words. It's 25 words. It's fine. I'm
Uh,
just summarizing because I don't know.
I will send a message back since I can respond.
Yeah.
I will stay with the troops for tonight. We'll pass on message to Zephyr and inform the troops to watch.
Alright, I will also let my queen know that her troops will be informed.
She gives you a nod as you guys are back in the entrance area of the bathhouse and getting dressed and re-equipping yourselves with your possessions. Tuco, as you kind of rifle through your pockets, it seems that whether out of just the goodness of their hearts or the word of Lord Ephemeral, since Sundragon clearly knew what they were up to, they have not rifled through your possessions to any immediately noticeable degree, but you feel like you may want to check more thoroughly later just to be safe.
Oh yeah.
And
definitely.
Lucian, as you
Better
pass
hope
word
not
on
for their
to...
sake.
What's up?
Better hope not for their sake. They would have been spontaneously combusted.
Yeah, you do remember that. They looked pretty frightened, so it's more than likely they probably didn't risk it anyway.
Ooh.
And Lucian, as you pass word to Sundragon, she gives you a nod and a smile. Thanks, Lulu.
Sorry about in there. Sometimes I get nervous and I'm not really good.
She kind of holds up a hand and gives you a smile as she's putting her jacket back on. And it's all right. Just try and stay calm in situations like that. It's no wonder things tend to escalate between you and your friends if that's what you're like when you're nervous.
I'm a lot of things, that's for sure.
Tuco just muttering under his breath. Crazy.
Yeah, no, it's fair. If he knew, he would know why. So I'm gonna get dressed.
She turns to you, Caleb, and Prince Tebedra, think that you're up to do some hunting. I know this isn't exactly an assassination, more pest control, but I mean, as far as I know, Strixes still die when you stab them.
Yes, it sounds like I don't want to get too close to them, and I'm probably going to help with the rocks thing, just so we can get it done faster. Plus, I might need some things if we're going to be fighting a lot of things. Unfortunately, I'm not that good at a lot of things. I'm better at dealing with, one individual. But I was wondering if there might be some things I could get that could allow me to deal with groups better.
You should be able to. This place is a center of trade for Sundragon. We're close to our border with Autumnfall, so we get a lot of magical components and items coming through here. Not to mention stuff from overseas.
And it might be useful if you could spare at least one of your detachments to help us with the matter.
I should be able to. I have a few hunters on standby.
It seems like the more weapons we have to deal with this, the better.
Do you think it would be better if I stay here and maybe Tuka as well? That way we can, hit two birds with one stone?
It sounds like that's what Lord Ephemeral wants.
That's what I signed up for.
So
Alright.
the two of you can stay here and try to figure out more about what's going
I
on.
already have ideas that I would go over with Tuko.
Alright.
And
then
she'll
me
look over
and-
to Tuko. It's nice to have somebody on the team that can speak English.
And in the morning, me and Kero can go get those rocks for Tuko.
And we can talk to What's-His and other Prince Tebedra about dealing with the nest.
Should I
You said-
message him again and ask him if he wants to come here and go over those plans? Because I think we should take care of this as soon as possible.
I agree, but you don't have to worry about it. I'd rather be with the troops. Once I get you guys to your lodgings, I'm going to head back to base camp. I'll pass on word myself.
I'm sure you want to be out there at night when the Strixes are about.
Yeah, it sounds really dangerous.
She kind of gives a smirk, and I'm not afraid of a few birds.
Yeah, but these birds could make you really sick. Like,
And that would not
like
be good for
liver
your army's
failures.
leader to suddenly become very sick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
you're more
it's gonna-
precious.
yeah.
You should value yourself more.
We could get the bunk beds.
All right. She kind of
Your
shakes.
army won't disintegrate if you're not there for one night.
Yeah, like I said, we could get bunk beds and it will be fun.
All right. Guess you shanghaied me. Tuco, I do have a question for you, though.
Oh, yeah?
You mentioned in the bathhouse that, you can do explosives. That right? You have gunpowder?
Gunpowder isn't quite the word I'd use for it, but sure, it's combustible.
She gives a wide, excited smile, and I'm putting a plan together on how to take out the nest. I may not be a doctor, but if there's one thing I can do, it's destroy things.
You think... yeah, he has an equally big grin.
Oh, Lucian's got a stupid smile because she's like, she loves science, so.
She looks you up and down, Tuco, and with a smile. I know it's a lot to ask, and I'll be honest, Lord Ephemeral's not someone I would risk pissing off in better circumstances, but Caleb is right. We need something that can deal with the crowd, and even with What's-Is and Zephyr, there's a lot of them from the sounds of it. We'll see how bad it is tonight, but I'd prefer to have somebody on hand who can deal with a lot of things all at once. Do you think tomorrow, maybe around noonish, you can try and sneak out of the bathhouse? Lucian can keep Lord Ephemeral busy, and you come and find me, and we see about maybe setting something up near their nest.
Yeah, he just grins ear to ear. Sounds like a date, lassie.
She gives you a grin, and looking forward to it. I've never seen a halfling blow something up before.
Really?
It's up? Why do I have to be the distraction?
Because you're very distracting. Look at you. So distracting.
Yeah, he's got you there, Lulu.
She kind of like looks down and she's like, "Oh, that's."
I'm sure I would agree if I was into that thing.
See, even he gets it. And
her nose is like pink. She does not think to herself like that.
And she kind of steps toward you and helps you kind of do your hair back up from it being kind of frayed from the humidity of the bathhouse. But as she's close to you, you realize she's just using this as an excuse to get closer to you as your guide is kind of waiting impatiently with the other two guards by the bathhouse doors. And she leans in to whisper in your ear under the pretense of just doing up your hair. And if he lays a hand on you in a way that you don't like, tell me, and I'll kill him myself.
You'll be the first to know. And believe me, I'm a little dainty sometimes, but if I don't want to be touched, I'm very opinionated.
Oh, I know, but at least this way it'll be regicide instead of a diplomatic incident. I know you got a family to think about.
Can Caleb hear what they're saying?
Make a perception check.
Lucian,
what snarky ass thing does he want to say?
Hang on, let's see. What check?
Perception.
Plus 9 to that. It's gonna be a 25.
You notice a little too late that she's whispering, but as you kind of lean in, you do manage to catch Lucian's responses, but not what Sundragon said to provoke it. So you just hear Lucian basically like wave off, like, "Oh, I may look dainty, but I can defend myself. You'll be the first to know." So you can like put the pieces together, but you don't hear what Sundragon actually says.
I guess whenever Sundragon like stands back up and is near Caleb quietly say, "And I have a certain set of skills if you need them."
She kind of tousles your hair and kind of helps straighten out your hood, and again using that as like a pretense to be closer to your head. Can you make it look like an accident?
You take me for an amateur.
Can he hear? Can Hugo hear this shit?
Yeah, it's just gonna take turns. Sure, make a perception check.
Fuck. I just straightened up and my dice flew off the bed.
Didn't say anything when Caleb said, "Do you take me for an amateur?"
She just got kind of smirks and not in the slightest, Prince Tebedra.
19.
Yeah, you hear the conversation between the two of them.
Yeah, no, I can see Tugo just accident. We're trying to make it look like an accident.
She kind of gives you a wink, but then does a very, very fast shushing motion as she stands back up and approaches the guide you've been assigned. Shall we? And again, looking kind of impatient, he gives a nod, and once all of you are dressed and have your weapons and equipment back, he gives a nod and follow, be quick, and steps out of the bathhouse.
All right.
Caleb is now fully equipped again.
Yep. Yeah, just a second, shifting the situation here. There we go. As you guys step out into the streets of Chillblains, it is getting late. As mentioned, the sun is starting to set and night is beginning to fall. And what few people were still on the streets are beginning to retreat. Caleb, you catch a Sun Dragon soldier. You can't tell if they're a guard here or one of the militia, outright sprinting across one of the bridges to get to the nearest building. And just everyone is starting to board up their windows, lock their doors, and just tighten the place down into a defensible position.
We just hear
And
all sorts of locks. We hear chains, locks, bolt, cranking mechanisms.
Mm-hmm. And Tuco, you catch much more intensified patrols of the kind of, again, primitive hazmat suit wearing, rifle-toting soldiers patrolling the streets. And while they're making a semblance at organization, you can tell that there's kind of a nervous tension in the air. Not the energy of someone who's prepared for a fight, the energy of someone who's expecting one.
Yeah. Tuco would just kind of mutter under his breath, "Fucking amateurs."
Lucian, you and Queen Sundragon at the head of the group are led across the kind of dock-esque streets overlooking the central crimson lakes that make up this oasis, and passing under drooping willow and palm trees and past thick kind of lakeside brush and growth. You are led to what initially appears to just be essentially a boat that's kind of tied off the side of one of the docks, but it's fairly on the comfortable side. And you notice that it appears to be a houseboat that's been essentially repurposed. The sails are tied. The boat itself is tied to the dock, and you can already see that food is being prepared and drinks are being served, as this boat seems to essentially be acting as sort of a almost cafe of sorts. But as you are led on board, your guide gives a nod to a kind of mutton chop Sun Dragon man who nods in return and starts barking orders in native Midgardian to the other workers on the ship. One of whom, kind of thickly gray-bearded Norseman, approaches you. He has kind of a bandana tied around his head, and his clothes are kind of loose and baggy for the heat. Kind of checking the skies and trees periodically, kind of waves you to follow him. Doesn't say anything, and you notice one eye is kind of swollen shut, although whether it's from Strix's or just a fight he's been in being a Sun Dragon man, you don't know.
I love him.
But he...
About every NPC we meet.
I mean,
No,
to be fair, I guess that
so
means I'm doing
cool.
my job, to be fair.
That's true.
Yes, that is a compliment for you, Matthew.
I mean, it depends. You can make a really good hate character.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually what my Friday group said about the Empress that they met last session. Anyway, the man leads all of you into the house part of the houseboat, where you're kind of, it's a little cramped, but as they're boarding up, you notice the sailors are all toting muskets to defend the ship. And you are inside this boat along with small groups of various Sundragon people who are the closest to non-combatants that Sundragon can get. You notice it's a lot of women and children mostly. All basically like being protected inside of this little house on the boat. One of the women holding a child kind of gives you a kind smile and a nod as the four of you enter. And the sailor kind of silently stares at the four of you as you enter the house. It's essentially, think of it as sort of like a cabin almost.
Okay.
These like comfortable looking almost couches, more like futons, line the sides beneath a pair of large windows that are currently being boarded by the sailors. The double door, both leading.
It's a boarding party.
Nice.
Docking.
Leading out onto the main deck, as well as another set of doors leading out back. And on a table in the center, this whole house basically like sort of a glorified living room. On a table in the center, almost like a kotatsu, various bowls of fruit and veggies and some smoked meats are being laid out by the sailors, so that all of you may dine comfortably, as well as some provided water skins and bottles of wine.
I'm so
happy to see those vegetables.
All right. Lucian, you immediately start digging in. Caleb?
Caleb was going to say as they enter, ahoy, Captain, permission to come aboard.
The sailor kind of looks down at you and just smiles. Again, doesn't say anything, but just smiles at you, and kind of gently kind of nudges you inside before giving you a salute.
Caleb will give a salute back.
Tuco and Keto, anything from the two of you?
Gotta say, it's been a while since I've been on a boat. As he kind of like rummages around like his pockets before, just checking himself before making to head over to the food.
All right.
I've only been on a boat like twice before this.
Oh, really?
I've ever been on a boat, Matthew.
How?
For fun, make me a history check. You two go ahead and continue.
Let me get my calculator out. I'm not good at this.
Well, the last time I've been on a boat was... The last time I've been on a boat was, well, not for very doctorly reasons. Now that I think about it.
24, Matthew.
While you've not sailed personally, your parents mentioned that back before the Kingdom of Tebedra existed and it was still part of the Kingdom of Crimson, you recall that your parents occasionally, the Weiss and Sardom, they're right next to each other, so I get them mixed up. Back when the Kingdom of Tebedra was part of the Weiss and Sardom, your parents mentioned that they were sailors originally. So they occasionally talked about like what it was like being on a ship. And while you've not been on one yourself, you recall some of what your parents talked about, and you actually recognize that, at least based on the description, that the vessel you're on right now appears to be a repurposed Weiss and Sardom vessel.
Interesting.
I'm just making it canon that she's
Caleb
only
is
been
going
on
to-
them for like political reasons.
Yeah. Caleb?
Was going to the food seems like it's made for like the people staying here, right?
Yeah, the sailors don't appear to be digging into it at all.
Caleb was going to attack that meat.
All right.
Yeah,
Tuco's right next to you, just digging in.
All right. Actually, I'm curious. Did the patrons eat a lot of meat?
When they could, but a lot of what they ate was basically just like what was convenient to forage. But given that hunting was a very common source of food for them, yeah, meat was fairly common, although it typically wasn't smoked, it was just cooked.
I'll just say, because it's something like, it's such a higher quality, it's like a dog getting a piece of high quality beef.
Mm-hmm.
Higher quality.
Caleb, you and Tuco dig into the meat. Lucy and you dig into the fruits and veggies. And Caro sits comfortably on the futon with Gero.
What's the queen doing?
The queen is just kind of like crossing her arms and smiling as you all dig into the food. She still seems a little antsy and doesn't sit down and just kind of like paces near the door as the mutton shop sailor returns and kind of nods at all of you.
I'm gonna get her like a big plate of food, and then I will go over there and put it in front of her and just be like, you can't command an army on the empty stomach.
I've done more with less.
Doesn't mean you should. I know you're worried. We're all worried, but hold on, you need to spend a long day.
Caleb?
First things first, is this some good meat?
Yeah, that's good.
And Caleb is going to... Lucian trying to get the queen to eat, Caleb is going to say, pointing whatever he was eating at her. Like, trust me, it's real good.
She kind of rolls her eyes but smirks and just, all right, fine. Yeesh, you sound like my mom's.
There's nothing wrong with that. So, a lot of people say that, you always marry your mom.
I wish my mom would have fessed over me. You want to know what she did? She turned me over immediately, birthed me, and then she's gone.
Really?
Are you kidding me? Of course.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, your mic's uppity.
Yeah, you sound like Daft Punk.
Okay, hello?
Hello.
Now we can.
Hi. Okay, so like Lucy just kind of chimes in. Yeah, Mom was away a lot, but I had a very intrusive maid.
Yeah, didn't have any of that. As he just kind of shrugs and just goes back to eating.
She was like more of a nanny.
She kind of nods and looks to you, Tuco. Folks military from the sounds of it?
I'm gonna guess you don't really know what my brood stands for. Otherwise, the last name, Slitherite. He gets a pause, and when he realizes that you don't understand, he's just, all Slitherites are trained assassins from the start.
Oh, kind of like Caleb.
I don't know the guy's story so well, so maybe.
Well,
there's a whole army of halfling Calebs.
Oh boy. I can barely handle the one. He's adorable, but...
Caleb's just like, hey, I only have 2 members of the Scar Concord under my belt.
Well, with any luck, we can make that more.
Add a few more.
Aye. And she kind of glances.
What's this? Have the final one on Kaloum, just so I could see the look on his face at realizing his enemy is the one who killed him.
Oh, those two have personal beef?
Apparently so.
I cannot wait.
Enjoy watching him realize that all his plans to kill him are going to fail before he dies.
Sadistic. I like it. And she takes one of those stripping bites out of the meat. And as she starts chewing it, she kind of nods to Lucian and Tuco. Well, I'm sorry about your folks. Most I can say is that my moms were overbearing, but yeah, I love them.
I mean, whenever my mom was around, she was very do this, do that, Lucian. No, you're supposed to sit up straight. No, the fork goes on the other side, Lucian. Lucian, a woman doesn't do that,
That's nobility for you, at least around these parts. I got lucky in that department.
Tuco's just kind of listening to all of this, just like, you're having moms.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing, that's the great thing about me. I wasn't actually born nobility. My parents were just regular old folks who made a lot of money.
She kind of smirks and kind of shakes the meat in your direction. That's the secret, isn't it? Nobody's nobility from the start, just gotta get rich first. As for you, and she looks to you, Tuco, I'm surprised. I thought halflings were all about family and junk.
We are about family. But I've brewed more scribes to that whole diatribe of it takes a village to raise a child. In this situation, a whole bunch of assassins. Not a dad. Not a lot of moms.
She kind of tilts her head to the side and kind of shakes it side to side before. Well, I was raised by 2 moms and a dragon, so I suppose I can't say too much.
He grins.
Yeah, my mom and dad were pretty good.
Well, that's a great day, buddy.
They had this whole complex because I was born on the solstice.
Oh, really? A Kupalo baby, huh?
My apologies, mate.
It was apparently a really big deal.
I was born in the middle of a blizzard. So
my younger brother shit himself and now he's in Scourge.
She kind of she kind of smirks, like looking a little confused, but also smirks, and just finally, I'll take your word on that, Tuco. And she kind of pats you on the shoulder.
It's not like a joke among your people or something.
No, really. Whenever you're born, you get sorted into a housing. And from what I've been told anyway, my brother, well, blood brother, he shot himself, and so because of that, he got sent to the church. But that's where all of them go when they're gross.
Oh, really? Well, I guess I could think of worse things than being raised by a priest.
He just kind of lets that sit in the air for a while.
Daft Punk.
There are worse things, like being raised by a necromancer.
Hello? Can you hear me?
It came in just on an extreme delay. She kind of smirks a little bit, and you notice her gaze flicking to you specifically, Lucian. And well, depending on who you ask, the priest and the necromancer might be the same person.
She kind of like looks up from her broccoli like, you have no idea. Well, since we're bunking together, I guess I could just tell you everything.
Oh, God.
Also, Caleb was going to add, the bad thing about my parents is that they died.
Oh.
That sucks. I'm sorry. What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
They went on a raid to... What place was it? Blackthorn?
Mm-hmm.
They went on a raid to Blackthorn, except it was very well defended, and we also didn't need the supplies. And it was a completely pointless mission ordered by King Tevedra.
Isn't
But
that
my parents went anyways, and they died.
Huh?
Kero's like best friends with that queen.
If my parents died, I haven't heard of it.
My parents died 5 years ago with me.
Oh, that's cheerful.
Yeah, isn't it?
And Caro, you sounded like you were going to say something.
So yes, it is true.
You're best friends with Queen Black.
Yes.
You know, there was a time when I was younger that I probably would have tried to kill you for that, but honestly, I don't mind them anymore.
Besides, times like this, you learn to make bedfellows out of your enemies. There's an old saying I've heard around these parts: keep your friends close, enemies closer. I didn't really get it at first, but I think I do now.
Yeah, if your enemy is close, it's a lot easier to stab them in the neck. Watch them bleed out all over the floor.
My mom says that I'm pretty sure that's not what that means.
I'm gonna have agree with her there.
You say that, but come on.
Well, that's enough about dead parents, right?
Yeah, tell
Your
me.
parents
This
still,
got very deep very quickly, and I don't know where it
yeah.
came from.
I meant to ask you about your moms. Are they still fast, or are they where you are from?
Oh, yeah, they're still around. They're just back in the homeland. They said that it was my line's responsibility to stake our claim on Yav. I made sure that all the cities that are here today got built. Had to make a few interesting friends to make that happen, as you probably noticed. And she kind of nods her head towards the bathhouse.
Yeah.
Interesting is a word.
It is a word.
Looks worse than a scourge priest.
She kind of smirks a little bit, and again, I'll take your word on that. But if shitting yourself is a prerequisite for becoming one of those, then yeah, that about sums it up. He wasn't always that bad. Used to be a pirate back before I met him.
What ruined him?
Nothing, actually. He was gonna raid our military vessels whenever we were starting the raid on against Gyogre over in these territories, but I struck a deal with him. Said that if he helped us instead of fighting us, that I would give him a cut of the land. So we divided up the territories north and south. He controls the southern territories, and I control the north. Means I get to be closer to my folks, and I don't have to deal with the whole ruling the cities thing. I've never really been super into that.
Yeah, no, I'm not much of a leader myself. It's a great big headache it is.
Yeah. She nods, and my parents were more the orchestrators of raiding Yav, but we make sure to uphold the tradition. We have a tradition back home where whenever a new child of the Sun Dragon line is born, we conquer a new city and rename it after the new ruler. You guys remember Ogden?
Yeah.
She smiles, and of course, you know my name is Agnes. I'm actually named for my grandmother, and she was the one who set that place up.
Really? Oh. Whenever I hear the name Agnes, I always think of agony.
She smiles, and it's based on Midgardian. My mother was named for my grandmother as well. It's sort of a tradition for the women in our family. It means fire.
Ah. Me, honestly, I prefer
Fire
pain.
Sun Dragon.
My brother and I have very similar names. Lucifer. Lucifer is bringer of light, and Lucien is the holder of light.
That's cute. And she looks to you, Caleb, and gives a smile. If you use my full name, my name in my native tongue basically means Fireball of the Dragon.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty wicked.
Thanks.
Talk about the prophet name.
She smiles and gives a nod. And my other mom used to be an adventurer, actually, but then she met my other mom, and, well, they got on like a house on Dragonfire, so then I entered the picture.
Awesome.
That's sweet.
So, real quick question. How long... were there any more like you, or is it just you?
What do you mean?
Oh, well, just curiosity.
Like, do I have any sisters?
Yeah, sisters, brothers. I'm not too picky.
No, I'm an only child.
Can I?
Oh.
I hesitated. Can I insight her?
Make an insight check.
That's what Caleb was going to say.
I love this girl with all my heart, but let's see, what is my plus? I was not anticipating on doing that. So,
Go ahead, Caleb,
I was just
while she's looking.
super invested.
Caleb was going to say, your people kind of remind me of mine. I mean, you're more direct than my people. We're more indirect fighters, but at the same time, we both almost everybody in Taveja is able to raid in some way or another. I even know a blind person who's part of the raids. He's a bag guy. He carries the bag for everyone to throw the stuff into, and then he runs where everybody runs.
Aw, equal opportunity employment. Now that's what I like to see.
Yeah, that's always what Dad said, that we should make sure everybody plays their part, so that's why my people are so... And she nods to even the women in the house with you, who you can see even they are carrying, like, axes and blades and shit. And there's the woman who had smiled at you. Tuco, you kind of glance to her and you see she's carrying a tomahawk on her belt.
Oh,
he does like a low whistle.
It was a rule back whenever Sophist first founded Sundragon that everyone needed to be able to fend for themselves. He hoped that if everyone could take care of themselves and provide for themselves and each other, that he could make the perfect kingdom.
What age do you begin
that? She smiles and... typically around 15, 16, but I managed to...
I got my result.
I managed to start a year early. Said that I was more than strong enough. Especially after they caught me trying to wrestle Dad.
Oh, man.
Well, I remember the first time I went
don't
on
think my dad could even handle being wrestled.
And what was your insight, Lucian?
Dirty 20.
She's lying.
Yeah.
She looked really nervous whenever you asked that, and Tuco asking about it seemed to really throw her off, and she had to kind of think about her answer. She's lying.
Does she seem, like, uncomfortable by it?
She seems like, because she's clearly in the mood for just open, honest conversation. It seemed like she wanted to give an honest answer, but then thought better of it and changed her mind at the last second.
Okay. I won't push or anything.
Also,
just curious to that.
Yeah, and Tuco doesn't believe her more just because he thinks the concept of having a one child is just unbelievable.
Yeah, especially for a halfling, yeah. And Caleb?
I have a brother, as you know.
So you've mentioned.
You want to know something really funny?
Caleb.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go ahead,
go ahead.
Caleb. I'm sorry.
Caleb I was just gonna double check. If I remember right, I think we said in Tabeja that they start.
You sound like Daft Punk.
No, it's on her end. Go ahead, Caleb.
Was me?
Yeah, Caleb sounds bad on her end, but he sounds fine on my end, so I'm assuming it's fine for everyone else, because I know her internet.
Now I can't hear anybody.
Yeah, okay, yeah, her Discord's messing up. But yeah, go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, if I remember right, I think from what we discussed, in Tabeja, they usually start pretty much around Caleb's age.
Yeah, generally, yeah, like 13, 14.
In Tabeja, usually we start knowing how to do things on raids, so about... maybe just a little bit younger than I am now.
That makes sense. You need tiny little hands to get into all those cracks and crevices.
Exactly.
Do I recall when I started? Like, I had all my studies, but like, when did I start going under my dad?
Make a history check.
Okay.
It's been so long.
What is it? A history check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. 27.
You were a test subject pretty much from birth, but you didn't start helping in the studies until around like your 20s.
Okay. Lucian will just kind of laugh. Well, it's hard to, but we're little. I started a little after you.
Yeah, I get it. Time's all weird for elves. It's alright, I like older women.
I'm sure you saw all the scars. That was from...
She kind of gives a solemn nod, and I'm sorry.
Now, what was saying? I just spaced out for like a good minute.
Just talking about shitty parents and how Caleb was a little thief from the moment he could walk and talk.
I was an inventor.
I can tell, Mr. Pockets.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without my vest, well, except for in that place, but I felt naked without it.
Yeah. I'm not much of a tinkerer. I was always more of a smith. And she pulls the 3-pronged sai from her belt.
Yeah, I did notice your outfit. Did you make that yourself?
I made the armor, but the weapons are family heirlooms. Sophist made them for the first queen out of his own scales.
Was it made from his own scales, forged in the fire of dragon breath?
Yeah, actually. And these puppies, and she twirls the sais, he enchanted. They're a family heirloom that we always wield when we go to war. I don't know if you saw whenever I was fighting those monsters, but every time they swing, Sophist's dragon fire comes out.
Wow.
So you can
Ooh! Is it magic or is it alchemy?
Magic. Like I said, we don't really have alchemists this far west.
He immediately looks disinterested, just
come on, nothing wrong with some good enchantment.
But I'm itching for somebody with a like-minded to talk to.
Well, I just learned alchemy. I'm pretty proficient with it, but we still have to talk about a lot of things. But I'm always open.
And Caleb, go ahead.
Caleb was going to say, you conjure up dragon fire to cut down the entire armies or something, right?
Not entire armies. That'd be ridiculous. Just, platoons.
The front ranks will be decimated in one swing.
There you go. If it was that easy, I wouldn't need an army. And
yeah, but it wouldn't be as fun, would it?
I like going into battle alongside some good friends. You got me there. And as for you, and she nods to you, Tuco, I may not be much of a tinkerer, but I know Queen Blackthorn likes to put her own gear together. You could ask her about that sort of thing.
Blackthorn, eh? He kind of like corks his head at that.
Yeah, Caro, ain't that right? Queen Blackthorn likes to build her own crap.
I don't remember you.
What's that, Caro?
I was just like saying from what I'm remembering. Yes.
She gives a kind of satisfied nod at Caro's quick answer, and so yeah, if you ever need someone to talk to, I guess you could always head north.
I'll have to think about that at some point.
And Caleb?
I might need to stay away from that one. As I've said, Blackthorn does not seem to have a great like for us Tibetans.
Yeah, sorry. Open mouth, insert foot. That's my bad.
Good thing I'm not a Tibetan then, eh?
Good thing.
What are you exactly? I didn't know there were halfling kingdoms around here. I know they obviously live here. I just didn't know you guys were much into politics, or assassination for that matter.
The Slitherite's been around for, well, I guess we're the newest one, but when you're the newest out of a civilization that's over 1,000 years old, I mean, are you really that new?
Well, you look great for your age.
Oh, God, no, I'm not that old. But, I come from the, Underdark.
Oh.
Yeah. And his eyes kind of get steely at that point, just, we live under there. Because it's the only space we've got.
Does Caleb know what an Underdark is?
Make a...
Yeah, we're there.
Well, we were in Edict.
No, we were also in the Underdark when you drove the car.
Well, that was like underground. He doesn't know like this Underdark.
Yeah, and make a history check.
History. That is going to be... I gotta do some math again. I gotta do some math again, because I don't know how these two numbers combine.
I've been there.
14.
Calculate.
Yeah, calculate. You're familiar with the Underdark, at least on a conceptual level. Obviously, you've been there before, traveling in Edict and Ergos. You know that the Underdark is basically the general term for the underground of the surface. But it is news to you that halflings live down there. Halflings have, to your knowledge, always been surface creatures. You knew that elves and dwarves and very occasionally humans live down there, but never halflings.
Are you like from like a group of halflings that's like how the dark elves are to the regular elves?
He kind of looks annoyed at that before. You could call us that.
Interesting.
Huh. I always thought my mom was just delusional when she talked about rat men living in the sewers.
Make no mistake, lassie, it's not like we want to live down there.
I can't imagine. That's where a bunch of, crap, metaphorical and literal, goes.
Hence why. And again, he looks very, very perturbed. And just, hence why I'm up here.
Well, welcome to civilization, I guess. And she kind of raises a glass to you.
We're civilized down there, too. Before, again, just kind of tail twitching.
She kind of tugs at her collar, feeling a little awkward.
Can we get... I think we need some drinks around this table.
Yeah, drinks!
That is a really good idea.
And conversation begins to gradually settle as the sailors take up their posts, the windows are boarded up, and with one final check to make sure you guys have enough food, water, and shelter for the night, the doors are shut and locked as night falls over Chillblains. Gil, Zephyr.
Yes.
Gil, you pop the final of the 3 candies that you had taken that day, and Zephyr, as the last of the sunshine disappears below the horizon, you kind of, since you were just taking in the sun rays, you kind of stretch out a little bit, since no use soaking up sun rays when they're gone. And as night begins to fall and a beautiful kind of aurora green night falls over Yav, What's his appears to be completely gone. He was here a second ago, but now he's not.
Zephyr does not care.
I was like, Zephyr kind of looks around, just like.
What's his? What are you doing?
So first, he's going to look at himself. Since he's invisible now, he's like, huh, that's new. And then he's going to see if he can sneak up on Zephyr, just to see just what he can do.
Roll a stealth check with advantage. Zephyr, roll perception at disadvantage.
I can roll. That's gonna.
He's got good modifiers.
Well, yeah. I know he has decent modifiers as well, but.
Tomfoolery.
Hey, we're getting drunk with
named
the plane. I'm happy.
Fuller.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Gil, stealth.
21.
Zephyr, perception.
17.
All right. Zephyr, you just kind of idly sit on the top of the carriage, obviously keeping an eye on your surroundings. As Gil, you start sneaking up on the small saurian on top of the carriage. He does not seem to hear you coming, and obviously can't see you.
So since he doesn't notice me, I'm gonna get up behind him, and then I'm gonna say, "I wouldn't stay up there too long. Apparently, there's sturges in the area."
Does he know about that?
Because
Lucian told him.
Yeah, Lucy messaged me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Message. My bad.
Although Zephyr, you have no idea what a sturge is, because that's not a thing.
I have no idea.
They're rat birds.
Zephyr's surprised.
I guess, yeah. Well, first off, Zephyr's going to kind of look around and seeing nothing.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Here. Let's see. I have ideas. So I would like to try to best I can, and like a good rough pinpoint of where I hear the voice.
Literally right behind your shoulder.
Can perceive that?
Well, yeah, given the earlier perception stealth checks, I'll say you know he's nearby, but you don't know exactly where.
Okay. That goes away with that idea.
Where are you gonna shoot him?
Sort of.
Probably stab him.
No.
Sort of.
Or you can use a decanter of water.
I mean, maybe. I may have been.
Zephyr really likes that thing. He likes to use it.
It's a very useful item.
Yeah, we all have our favorite items.
I have a few items I like.
Yeah, with Paul, it's bucket.
Yeah, well, I have a new. I might have a new favorite item. My little boots. My new boots.
Yeah, although Paul, I cannot wait to see how you use the bucket in Chapter 3. Just as a side note.
Oh, don't worry. If I definitely have a plan where, weapon goes away, it's I still have bucket, so.
But yeah, go ahead and continue. I just wanted to point that out.
God damn it.
I guess. With
Can't hear.
Our internet.
Now I can hear.
Okay.
So, anyways, proceed, Zephyr.
Kind of looks around, a bit confused.
Now I can't hear.
And not sure what that is. So, okay.
It's like a rat with wings, with a big nose, almost like a mosquito.
Do we have mosquitoes in this setting, Matthew?
Technically, yes, that's what these things are, and his description is not even close.
Of course, he's aware.
Yeah, they didn't even know
He's not an animal person.
Yeah, you don't even. You just were told a name. Those flying creatures.
But you know that they will hurt.
They got some sort of disease on them right now.
I've got the itch.
Oh, also, I'm invisible. That's why you can't see me.
So you are.
You're not here, Tuco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Zephyr and Gil back at base camp. Or what's his, sorry.
Oh, okay.
You know, Matthew messed it up.
Yeah.
But, yes, I can, well, in a figurative term, see that. I mean, are you gonna do something with this newfound invisibility?
Well, I gotta pass on some messages to the rest of the troops about the storages, so they can keep an eye out for them. Apparently they're active at night. But, other than that, I like to go have some fun in the city, you know. You want to come with?
Nah, I'm good.
See yourself.
Nah, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, he already had one heist. He's good.
Don't worry, there'll be more heists. But,
I'm sure there will.
He's got to spread out the heist. He doesn't want to steal from the same people too many times.
I mean, these are two different people, technically. sort of. But it's just, I guess with this newfound knowledge, he'll kind of think about it and and he'll pull out his I guess he won't pull out. He'll kind of put his finger to his ear and cast sending. Yeah. He'll cast his own sending, cause magic.
All right.
Can you get like a better version of message that lets you have like an unlimited message?
I believe so, but it's like down the line.
I was like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, for who are you sending?
Well, for the other side of whoever holds the other end of the sending stone. Yeah.
Do you recall who you gave it to?
It was Red. Red had it last.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought it was Red.
Okay. Proceed.
Yeah. But technically, if anyone else has it, then I'm just sending it to that person, probably. Apparently, there are creatures to look out for with diseases. So be on the lookout.
You get a response pretty quickly from somewhere in the camp, you presume. I've heard Strixes.
Alright. With that done, he's gonna kind of sit there and think of a plan, so,
Okay. So Zephyr, you just sit on top of the carriage, kind of watching the skyline and contemplating, but ready and waiting for the potential onslaught of creatures. Gil, or what will you be doing?
Originally I was thinking about going into the city and having fun with invisibility, but
yeah, just tormenting
poor
people who are already dealing with a fucking malaria outbreak.
Yeah, but then I had a different idea. I want to go see if I can't find a nest on my own.
Okay.
Well, since he's invisible...
24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is it 24 hours?
I mean, it's only a 1 in 100 chance of getting it, so... okay. Make me a survival check. At disadvantage. Both because it's dark out and because you have no fucking idea what this animal is or what its nests look like or where they would be nesting. So, survival at disadvantage.
Just motherfuckers like, I'm gonna do it myself.
Alright, I'm gonna head out, is what he's like. Well, that's...
Yeah. Just like, rip to y'all, I'm built different.
That's a dirty 20.
Zephyr's like, alright, I'm gonna head out.
I ain't afraid of no mosquito.
Seeing as Zephyr just kind of sits and starts, like, thinking of what he wants to do next and how he wants to go about this. You think for a second. Zephyr's taking the time to be cautious, strategize, or at the very least, like, have some sort of game plan. But you're invisible. That's the only advantage you need. And as we all know, mosquitoes are purely sight-based predators, as ever, I'm sure you're well aware.
Oh, yeah, they definitely don't target the feet at all.
Yeah.
What?
Well, they can't smell your breathing.
Feeling confident, you kind of flex your mechanical arms and start marching towards town.
Fuck's sake!
I feel like Gil is just on a mission to get himself killed.
Which, I'm gonna say, DM to players, he very well might.
I told you, Jeremy.
No shit.
Looking, he's not engaged.
This might be the end of what's this.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's probably what he would have wanted.
Yeah, what a way to go. Getting fucking eaten alive by mosquitoes while invisible. Like, they don't even find your body until tomorrow night.
Yeah, he just gets sucked to death. He's a little, like, mummified corpse.
Don't ever say suck to death again.
What, are you afraid of it? You afraid of a little sucking boy?
Oh.
Okay. What's
I'm
his?
just like aggressively coloring.
What's his? You start making your way towards the city. As you arrive at the gates of Chillblains, you see that the gate is currently closed, and there are guards posted along the walls, posted with rifles, seeming like they're ready to basically provide covering fire to the militia camp should the need arise.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Intervene.
He wants to, like, so there's a wall, and then do I see where the water's at?
The water is like all contained within the walls.
Would I have any idea where to even look for a nest?
Nope.
You have no idea what these creatures look like. You have no knowledge besides it.
You don't know what this animal is. The literal only thing you know about it is that it flies and it carries diseases.
Oh yeah, and its name.
Dude.
Or what people call
No,
it.
it doesn't even know the name because he mispronounced it when giving it to Zephyr.
Sturgeon.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell!
Sturgeon.
So I want to look at the sky and see if I can see any of them flying around, and then try to pinpoint which direction they were flying from.
Okay.
This is not going to work the way you think it's going to work, Jeremy.
Make a perception check.
Fucking looking for mosquitoes!
Well, they're probably big.
Oh yeah,
I think
these things are decently big.
Oh my
What's
god.
that?
Are structures bigger than mosquitoes?
Well, that depends. Ever, you know a little bit more about mosquitoes than I do. Are there any mosquitoes that have a 2'2" wingspan?
Fuck no.
Okay, then yeah, they're bigger than mosquitoes.
Honestly, that might
And
work in
that
his
was the
favor. He might be able to actually
20.
spot one.
Yeah, that sounds like
I thought he was
they're
about to get
27.
swarmed by a bunch of tiny mosquitoes.
the,
Just a black
He
cloud.
doesn't know what he's looking for.
yeah. He's got 24. He's got a full 24 hours technically, as long as he's willing to take the disadvantage.
Fuck's sake.
We gotta remember, he doesn't know what he was given no description of the animal.
Like, I love to imagine he's just gonna see like a tropical like bird of paradise, and just like, there it is!
I found it! I
Like a fucking
single-handedly...
scorpion like scuttles by in the desert, and just like, I found it! I'm gonna track it to its nest. What'd you get on perception?
It was a natural 20, so 27.
Okay.
That's not going to help you, Jer.
Jerry.
Well, at least he knows it's something that flies, because they're going to follow a scorpion. at least.
Oh my god. Dude, back out.
Oh no, Gil's doing this. Gil has stated he's gonna do this, so no.
You know what? You know what? I want to see what happens.
Okay, he's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
He's only
Zephyr.
looking. He's not doing anything.
Zephyr, you spot it first.
What did we talk about?
I spot one.
Just in the background, what did we talk about?
Zephyr, you watch as from the palm and willow trees surrounding the oasis of Chillblains, as night falls, these fluttering black shapes begin to take to the sky. Now, for a little fun fact of those who are interested in the lore, a group of Strixes is known as a thirst, and typically only consists of 10 individuals. However, in times of great need, starvation, or loss of territory, multiple thirsts will combine into a larger one, hence the infestation currently plaguing Chillblains. Typically, these combined thirsts will, at most, result in about 50.
Did they block out the sun or the moon?
Zephyr, you see what could easily be hundreds of creatures take to the skies. 2'2" wingspan avian creatures, almost like pigeons in their build, fat stomachs and kind of stubby wings. But they have these large heads, and even from this distance, you can see a sharp beak and hooked talons. And almost immediately, being closer to the wall, you don't see them right away, but you smell them. This, like, foul, almost garlicky smell begins to hit you. A little fun fact, Strixes are actually mammals. They have mammary glands. But during the feeding process, they produce a scent that's incredibly foul in order to ward off predators. And that is the origin of the terrible smell plaguing Chillblains. And Zephyr, the most unsettling thing you notice as you watch from the roof of the carriage is that as they start flying into the air, it's completely silent. Not a sound can be heard as they take to the sky. No squawking, no fluttering of wings, just nothing. And you can see these long feathered tails of dark colors trailing behind them. And you can see they appear to only have one leg that just balances in the middle for them to perch on. And as the combined thirst of Strixes from all over the Summersea forest, chased from their home by Tropu's airship, deforesting for fuel, take to the skies and begin to disperse. You see several of them begin to just flock down into the city, searching for any unfortunates that are still on the streets. But, Zephyr, you're able to see them coming, and our good friend still at the gates, you just smell that awful garlicky smell, and in the sky, you hear nothing, you just suddenly see Strixes begin to fly over the walls and begin to make their way towards the base camp. Immediately, the city erupts into chaos as those of you sleeping in the houseboat can hear it too. Rifle fire and even the sound of fireworks being launched immediately begin to pop around the city as they desperately use gunpowder weaponry to try and scare the beasts off. But with hundreds of people gathered out in the open, out in the base camp, the Thirst can't resist such a meal. So even as members of the Thirst are picked off with rifle fire or blown to bits by fireworks detonating in the center of the Thirst, they begin to descend towards base camp.
So us being there has somewhat hindered the townspeople. How fast are they?
Make a perception check.
That's what I can do.
I guess at this point, I'm going to run back to the party, to the group,
Boy.
All right.
and just try to help. Whenever they try to swoop down, he's going to just slice them to bits.
Okay. Zephyr?
I got 23.
Now, do you want to know just how fast they move outright, or are you more? Because I'm guessing what you want is how fast are they compared to you?
I mean, I guess a little bit above. I mean, I can kind of guess how fast how fast they are. Right, will be like I can see how fast they're compared to me. Kind of deal.
From the looks of it, they aren't incredibly fast flyers. As I mentioned, their bodies are kind of pudgy, their wings are kind of stubby, so they don't seem like particularly skilled flyers. As they make their way towards you, you think if you got a good head start, you could easily outrun them.
Good head start.
To put that into mechanical terms, since you rolled pretty good, they have a speed of about 40 feet in a turn when they're flying.
Yeah, so I can outrun them.
Yeah, if you want to run, you're confident you can outrun them, even if they're like flying as fast as they can to catch you. Like you would have to run, but you could outrun them.
And I could just be like, I'm gone. Goodbye.
Is Zephyr going to walk away?
It's a thought process, but you know, you need.
I'm gonna head out.
I need to make sure Red's not gonna get fucked up. So. Yep. So he'll go look for Red.
All right. Zephyr, concerned about the fate of your baby boy, you hop off the carriage roof and immediately start darting towards the base camp. As I'm assuming drawing your ionic axes, you start charging into the fray as well. As the two of you reach the center of base camp. As you can see, the militia members have been alerted by the explosions and are bringing their weapons to bear. Barbarians twirling axes, drawing back bows and crossbows, and the precious few sharpshooters bringing rifles to bear as the thirst descends on the Sun Dragon militia. Those of you who are here, roll for initiative.
All right.
Yeah, I bet Sun Dragon wishes she was here now.
Yeah.
All right. Natural 20, so 24.
Yeah, way to fucking go.
Well, hey, at least this way, they won't be dead.
Well, like, honestly, her fire sword would have been real handy, though. That would have been
just like, yeah, she probably should have been here.
I'm sure we can hear the screams. Maybe we, after, can we maybe hear the screams and
even without, you're not even hearing screams. You're just hearing like fireworks and gunfire. But yeah, you guys, I mentioned you guys in the boat can hear that like the fight has started to like call their numbers a bit.
I'll ask her. I'll say
you're locked into it. You can't exactly get out.
You guys' ears
you
are just like
break out if you want.
Yeah, I'll just kind of look at her and just be like.
Except you break out and try to make it broken, and then the things would get in.
Asking them to unlock the door for like 2 seconds.
You guys aren't together. You guys gotta make your decisions independently.
I let you make your decisions. Let me make mine.
You say that as you're like, Gil, we talked about
you
this.
You absolutely get on his ass about the decisions he makes.
I literally heard in the background, we talked about.
Okay,
what did we talk about?
Okay, I've got the swarm's initiative sorted. Okay, 24 and Zephyr.
What?
Initiative?
Oh, I got a natural 20, so 24.
Oh my god. Okay.
Monsters and player ties. Does the player go first or the monster go first?
DM decides, and I generally have the monsters go first because let's be real, you guys usually do really well. Since Zephyr and What's are together, you guys stand a slightly better chance of surviving.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, I'm sure. Like I said, I'm asking her if she wants to go kick ass. So.
Oh yeah, but we'll get to that at the end of the round because they've been already jumped. Zephyr, as the militia camp erupts into chaos, you can see the guards on the wall. Some of the thirst is descending down and using their single-legged talon, just clawing at their hazmat suits to try and find purchase to start draining their blood. Those that descend on the militia camp, Zephyr, as you're running in, a huge barbarian gets one in the face and screams as it like claws into his throat and pins him to the ground and starts draining his blood from his head. You're kind of like ducking and stumbling through people, as of course you being invisible, they can't like see you to get out of your way. And like at one point, as you're like running and drawing your axes, one of the riflemen gets kind of knocked to the ground, and as they're trying to get back up and load their rifle, two Strixes just bam bam like cling to their sides and start just clawing at their back. As you and Zephyr reach the center of camp. Zephyr drawing your bladed parasol, I assume?
Yeah, as that is my main defense.
Everson, you're new here. That's actually Zephyr's main weapon, a bladed parasol made out of Kevlar, so it's bulletproof.
So Gil would honestly attack the Sturges that are like taking like who are attacking the others. Like if I see someone with a Sturge on them, I'm going to attack it over the ones that aren't on someone yet.
The swarm.
Maybe you should just be like, you look around and you don't see any Sturges attacking. You just see a lot of Strixes.
I'm not going to be that much of a dick. I'm not splitting hairs. I'm more just making an observation. You know me. I don't like to split hairs.
I was just joking.
As the Strixes bear down, Zephyr's the only one they can see right now. You watch as a huge group of about 10 members of the Thirst bears down on Zephyr.
This
Make
was
a con save on hit to not get malaria.
Does a 21 hit?
Barely.
Okay. You take 15 piercing damage. And you watch as Zephyr holding up their parasol and unfurling it to defend themselves. Zephyr holds their parasol out, and you manage to block two of the Strixes, but the other ones kind of bound over their comrades and start latching onto you. And you notice as they claw into you, Zephyr, it hurts, but then the pain starts to get quickly dulled as their venom takes hold and nulls the pain. And several of them start attaching to you to start draining your blood. The Strixes are now attached to you. Unless they are detached from you, they'll just start automatically draining your health every turn. And as you see Zephyr's being overwhelmed by the swarm, you can see several more members of the Thirst are still descending into the camp. Zephyr and you're both up together. You can go in whichever order you like.
It doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to just swing at the ones attached to Zephyr.
All right, roll to hit.
Well, first I'm going to rage.
All right, you rage, bonus action.
And then 2 attacks.
All right, roll for it.
Out is a 29.
That's a hit. Roll for damage. Or you can go ahead and roll the second attack if you want to see if both hit.
And a 22.
That's a hit. All right, so roll for damage for both. And let me know what damage you're doing and with what weapon, because it matters.
Ionic axes. $18 damage on the first one. And 16 damage on the second.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm tracking their health here. 18, 16. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. What's his invisibly you charge into the fray, and Zephyr, as you're getting overwhelmed by the by the thirst of Strixes, one of them gets bisected with a wave of plasma, and another takes an axe to the head and goes down. And while you can't see him, you know that there's only one member of the party who is A, invisible, and B, can do plasma axe damage. What's his is here to back you up. You're up, Zephyr.
I'm assuming I'm still grappled, or in quotes.
Yeah, does he still have a Strix on him?
You're not. Yes, but you're not grappled. It's just that they're attached to you. So basically, unless you use your action to detach them, you're just going to automatically take damage at the start of the swarm's turn. But you're not grappled. You can still move and attack freely.
Just stab the one that's on him?
Well, I mean, for flavor, you can say that's what your action to remove them is, but basically you can attack them, or you can pull them off of you. But obviously, if you don't pull them off of you and you choose to attack them, if you either miss or just don't do significant damage, then you're going to get drained.
Yeah, and plus, and then vice versa. So it's a risk either way.
Yeah, risk reward. Yeah, so Zephyr, what do you want to do? Yeah, so you're not grappled. You can move and attack freely. The literal only thing is that they're attached to you, so you would have to use your action to remove them or take some blood loss.
Okay, this is if you're willing to let me in on this. What would it take to remove them?
It would take an action.
Okay, well, that's it. Just action. It's done.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe I had a save.
Yeah, no, it's not a roll or anything. You just roll to remove them, and it uses up your action, but you remove them. So is that what you want to do?
Yeah, he'll remove them.
All right. Any flavor for how you do it, or you want me to handle it?
Zephyr will kind of his weak little body he'll struggle probably as he just, gets what I'm assuming the little needles out of my body.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of use his parasol to push them away a bit, just get them out of it, get them away from me.
All right. As you watch as Zephyr uses their parasol as basically a bludgeon to just pull the bloodsuckers off of him and push them away. And Zephyr, as you kind of give your parasol a twirl to get the ones that are stuck to it off, they skid with their one taloned foot into the sand. And you both get an actual good look at the creatures now. You see an avian creature with large head and these super wide eyes that just are focused intently on you. They have a sharp beak and these hooked talons balancing on one leg. And indeed, you can just see a rounding to the chest of mammary glands. They're still producing that foul, garlicky smell, and their feathers are these very light, thin, and soft things attached to these stubby wings. And Zephyr, you already know from how you felt when they clawed you that their talons have some kind of venom in them. And you can see these feathered tails that are long and darkly colored to kind of blend into the night sky. And you can actually just make out as it's kind of balancing on its one taloned leg to find its footing in the sand and start attacking again. You actually can see it doesn't just have one leg. It has two, but it basically keeps swapping which leg it's standing on so fast that you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And you can see it's doing that about every second or so, almost like a ticking clock. Just hopping from leg to leg with blinding speeds before they fly up and start attacking again. All still completely silently, mind you. They aren't making a sound. The only thing you can hear that indicates any fight happening is the screams and fighting of the soldiers. If it wasn't for that, this camp could be being drained to the bone and you would not hear a peep. Zephyr, what? Anything left for you?
Yes. I guess I should probably have this thing, my main item on, or my new main item on. Zephyr's going to kind of seeing their speed earlier and like knowing that they can. It's his. I shouldn't at least underestimate them to a degree. Zephyr's gonna tap his foot together.
Okay. You kind of give a click of your heels.
Yep, and bonus action, use my boots.
Okay.
My boots.
All right, you activate. These are rocket boots.
I mean, that's what flavor does.
Okay. Zephyr, you of course recall your favorite little boots that you managed to get a hold of in Edict. You watch as Zephyr clicks his heels together and has the same.
There's no place like home.
Anything else, Zephyr?
Yeah, I'm gonna run away, or I'm gonna use my movement speed to just get away a bit, get some distance.
All right, they're gonna take an attack of opportunity.
But they have disadvantage.
Oh, they do? All right, noted.
Yep. The boots of speed gives disadvantage on attack of opportunity.
Got it. Okay. These are the boots of speed. So okay. Thank you for. Does a 17 hit?
No.
Okay. You watch as Zephyr's rocket boots actually appear to have a feature yours don't. You watch as Zephyr kind of takes a sprinter's position, and the Strixes start to kind of flutter to ready to attack again. And as they jump, the one whose legs you were watching jumps to attack him, Zephyr kind of gives a kick, and you watch as these pistons fly out from the boots and launch him, kicking sand up into the air that actually causes the Strixes to kind of fumble and kind of give these hooting squawks. And as they kind of rotate their heads around like owls to clear the sand from their feathers, as Zephyr takes off with blinding speed.
Yeah, which is he's gonna go his full now new base movement speed, 90.
Okay, you get 90 feet away from the main swarm.
Let's see, that's in 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, that's
90.
Yeah, and technically less a little bit when you consider that he got them off of him, activated them, and then ran. So technically it was closer to 3 seconds. Maybe 2.
Okay, well...
Because I did the calculations. If I used all my bonus actions and actions, it's 270 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I went 90 feet in 3 seconds, so that's 30 feet a second.
While you're doing some math, the Strixes certainly seem confused. Is that the end of your turn, Zephyr?
Yes.
All right. The rest of the Thirst is going to see if they can't spot.
That's actually only 20 miles per hour.
Still pretty good for a person running, though. The rest of the Thirst descends around you and starts kind of searching the area. They know something's here, but they can't seem to pick you out, although you are completely surrounded. The only direction you can go that doesn't take you through the Thirst is back the way you came.
It's about 7 to 8 seconds, or 7 to 8 miles per hour slower than the fastest runner.
Well, yeah, and we mentioned that's not even the fastest he can go.
Yeah, he could go faster though, so he probably can beat it.
Keto, Lucian, Caleb, Tuco. As you can hear gunfire and fireworks start going off in the city, and through Tuco kind of peeking, you can see through some of the cracks in the boarded up windows, some of the riflemen, even on the ship, are having to kind of defend themselves. Some of them not even bothering to shoot, and just whenever the Strixes land, you can see these ghoulish owl-like creatures land on the side of the boat and launch themselves at the sailors. You can hear screaming and cursing in Nordic as some of them don't even bother shooting and just start clubbing the things with the butt end of their rifles.
And that is my cute act. As he immediately starts to grab the appropriate things and head up on the deck.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my stuff and I'll just be like, let's go kick some ass.
Ghetto?
Arrow, grab her plasma crossbones. Get ready.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we got to start D5, guys. Yeah, my alarm went off a minute ago too.
Is there even no way that we could exit this without endangering everybody else inside?
The woman who was carrying the tomahawk kind of pulls her hatchet free and kind of clutching her baby in one hand and her hatchet in the other, just gives you a nod and go. We'll be fine. Who wants to try and force the door open or pick the lock?
I'll look at Aggie. Isn't she I'll be like, can you get the door? Because I'm not that strong.
And I'll check if Caleb has the tools real quick.
Let's see, inventory.
Yeah, and bear in mind, if you don't have a lockpick, you can just try to kick it open or something.
Honestly,
you do not have thieves' tools now.
Also, I'm gonna say that Caleb, hearing all the commotion, he's gonna put his stuff back on after he took it off to sleep.
Okay, and Tuco, I will mention that you do have a set of thieves' tools.
Ah!
Do you want to try and pick the lock, or just brute force it?
No, yeah, he would just alright, step aside. Let me do my magic.
Okay. So for this, you're going to make a thieves' tools check. For this, you're going to roll a d20, and you're going to add. You have expertise in thieves' tools, so you're going to add 8 to whatever you roll.
19 plus 8.
20, 21, 22, 27. Yeah, that'll do it. You guys watch as Tuco, the first actionable thing you guys have seen Tuco do so far, as Tuco, just kind of pushes you guys to the side, breaks out a very professional-looking set of lockpicks, and starts just kind of jimmying the lock, and it takes seconds before... And Tuco, you push the doors open, and you all take in a sight of chaos on the deck as you can see that mutton-chopped sailor who had escorted you onto the boat is desperately grabbing one of the Strixes by the tail feathers and trying to pull it off of the silent one who had let Caleb into the house, and he's desperately trying to fend it off.
Oh shit.
And as he manages to pull it off, and the creature hoots and squawks as he grabs it by the tail and kind of wrestles with it before just chucking it into the air, and it flies off to rejoin the thirst. And he looks at you for exiting and runs towards you to shut the door behind you and relock it, and just gives you a shout, "Go!"
Did Sun Dragon come with us?
Yeah, you can see she hadn't bothered to go out the unlocked one. You guys feel a wave of heat and hear as the back door is blasted open, and she strides out, not even in her armor, just carrying her dragon's thigh. And as the Strixes bear down on her, she vanishes into just this flurry of blades and dragon fire.
Oh, she is so cool.
Do the 4 of you wish to rush to the aid of your party members back at base camp?
You bet.
All right. I will say they have to be on their own for another round, but I'll say you guys get there at the start of the next round.
Go ahead and roll our so it'll be ready.
You can if you want.
I'm gonna stick with Sun Dragon.
Okay, so you're gonna stay here? All right.
Yeah, I'll help defend the house.
All right. Keto, do you want to?
Sun Dragon's gonna be going where we're going, anyways.
Yeah, whatever. Wherever she goes.
Yeah, wherever she goes, you go. Keto, who are you going with? It looks like Tuco's
with the group.
All right. And Caleb?
Yeah, Caleb will go with the group.
All right. Lucian, you join Sun Dragon, casting necromantic spells to basically drain, as the Strixes less like get shot out of the sky and more just fall as necromantic energies and diseases. Yeah, necromantic diseases and spells overtake their immune systems as Caleb, Kero, and Tuco leap over the side of the houseboat onto the dock and start sprinting back to base camp where, yeah, you all recall Zephyr and What's-His are outside of the militia alone.
Oh, you know what? I'll change it to where he actually helps stay and defend the boat if that's still a problem.
Okay, you can do that.
I actually want to do something.
I mean, you could do something either way. All right. Tuco, kind of thinking better of it. Kero and Caleb keep running back to base camp, and
Caleb's trying to run out of allies. He's going to stay with Sun Dragon, who's burning these motherfuckers down.
All right, Kero, as you leap heroically over the side of the boat and start running down the dock, one by one, your allies abandon you, and you look back and see Caleb and Tuco are retreating back to the boat. What do you do? All right, we'll come back to you.
I don't know why Sun Dragon wouldn't make her way to her army. So it'll probably work out in the end.
Probably. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
life
his?
is uncertain. Death is for sure.
As the thirst kind of gathers around you like a flock of hungry crows, carrion birds seeking their next meal, you notice their eyes kind of take on this dull, almost purplish color. And a thing that most people, even in universe, don't know about Strixes is that their vision is incredible to the point where many believe they actually can see on different spectrums. And you realize the Strixes are looking at you as if you weren't invisible at all, as they launch themselves at you.
Well, hello, my pretties. Bring it on!
No, that doesn't hit. As they launch themselves at you, you manage to hold up your mechanical arms and axes, and what they are able to find purchase on just simply doesn't have blood to drain. However, they are getting up in your grill, which is like slowly denying you freedom of movement. However, you do have the chance of rebuttal, as it is now What's-His and Zephyr's turn.
Well, I will go to hit them.
All right, roll to hit.
With 3 of my actions.
Get multiple turns?
It's technically 3 different swarms, because this is a massive thirst making up multiple thirsts.
Okay.
So how's a 33 to hit on the first one?
That hits.
28.
That hits.
And a 34.
But all 3 hit. Roll for damage.
Those pluses, man.
Yeah. Magic items, boy.
17 on the first one.
Okay.
Uh, 14.
Okay.
And then 10.
Okay. What's-His, as the thirst leaps onto you, already weakened from your earlier flurry, you start hacking, slashing, cutting, and swinging, as you just basically are an invisible blur of plasma and burning feathers as you cut down one of the thirsts making up this swarm. 1 down, 2 to go.
So each swarm is 3 thirsts, and there's 3 swarms?
Basically, on a mechanical level, each swarm is a thirst, which consists of 10 Strixes.
He's already almost killed them all.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, in terms of the ones you guys are dealing with, there's 30, and What's is just killed 10 over the course of 2 turns. Zephyr, you're up. All right, we'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Just thinking, man. Do I even want to?
Rushing now.
I'm not rushing. I'm more just like a lot of players seem to be either muted or busy, so I'm just like, all right, well, we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. You knew this was gonna happen today.
I mean,
actually, I did not.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I had a feeling it was gonna come down to something like
No,
this.
I mean the session.
Oh, yeah, I knew the session was going to happen.
I mean, I know shit comes up. I'm not mad. I was more just like, okay, like if basically the other option is that I sit here silent for an hour. Zephyr, what do you do?
Zephyr's going to... I'm trying to think if I should even help Gil. I mean, Gil can handle himself, probably. I mean, maybe. But I get that sneak attack.
I'm sure of that Zephyr is.
They're attacking Gil right now, so I will move. I guess I'll move 10 feet, and I'll pop him with my crossbow.
Okay. Support from a distance. Roll for it.
Yeah. And then I will roll that with advantage. Yeah.
Go for it.
Advantage. Yeah. Okay. Good. It's a good thing it was with advantage. 19.
That'll hit. Roll for damage.
Yeah, my first roll was a natural 1.
Oof.
That'll hit.
You missed.
Yeah, you hit your barbarian.
I sneak attacked the barbarian.
You can't see him, so.
What?
Because he's invisible.
I know. I was just saying the sneak attack. Like,
alright, so damage.
So the piercing damage.
And you're using your crossbow, right?
Yes, 6.
Okay. Alright, that'll be half to 3. It has resistance to piercing.
Well, then I do the sneak attack.
Sneak attack count damage.
It's basically sort of like true damage. Think of it as armor piercing, so it doesn't factor in resistance and stuff. It's part of what makes rogues so good.
24.
Nice, alright.
Alright. Oh yeah, I could have done that uncanny dodge stuff, but I just didn't think about it.
What's his? As you're in locked in a melee with these Strixes, one flies up into your face and manages to sort of breach your defenses, and you're kind of like clutching at it and like trying to like hold it by the leg as it like snaps its sharp beak at your face, and you're like trying desperately to fend it off as they're like lashing onto your back and shoulders, and you just managed to make out through the blur of feathers Zephyr leveling a crossbow at you, and the thought occurs that he cannot see you, so while he has no record of friendly fire, you react quickly and hold the Strix that you're fending off in front of you, and Zephyr, you fire your crossbow, and what's his, from your perspective, you're holding a struggling bird 1 second, and then a crossbow bolt comes through its chest and almost catches you in the forehead, as it gives a and falls limp in your grip.
I love that sound.
And you drop the blood-sucking owl to the ground. Is that the end of your turn, Zephyr?
Sure. I'm like, man, I really want to leave him.
You tried to
Weird
shoot me!
feeling that makes Zephyr
Watch where you
continue to
going!
try and help Gil, even though his mind thinks he does not want to.
Yeah, part of me doesn't want to, but it's like, I should.
What's is, as you're like bragging and showboating and confident, two things happen in rapid succession that catch your more immediate attention. You notice one of the ones that's latched onto your shoulder, it's not biting you. And you're kind of trying to get a look at it to see what it's doing, and then you notice it's pulling at your arm. And you realize other ones are doing the same. And you're trying to figure out what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to like lift you off, but they're far too small to do that, even if there was a bunch of them. And then you realize as the rest of the thirst starts perching on the ground, ready to leap and latch onto your front, as your arms are pinned to your sides by the thirst, they're helping each other. They're intelligent. As they position to flank you, and with that advantage, both strike.
Ooh. Guess the good thing I'm helping.
Since you're raging, you'll have resistance to the damage, so I'll just give you the halved version.
Okay.
I'm guessing they hit.
All right, from the first
hit.
thirst, you take 10 piercing.
Yeah, I said they both hit.
Okay.
And from the second, you take 7. And both thirsts are now attached to you and starting to drain your blood as they manage to get past your defenses and start sucking you dry.
Are there going to be con saves to get like infected with that disease?
Quite possibly. That is the end of this go. Keto, are you back with us?
Yes.
Did you hear what I said earlier, and you were just busy, or were you AFK?
I heard what you said.
Okay, what do you want to do?
She'll continue to the battle.
Night.
Okay. Keto, you sprint. Garrow kind of bounding alongside you as you make your way back to the front gates. And kind of making your way up the walls using the stairwell that the guards use. You come up to the riflemen, which are currently fending off a thirst of their own. And you can see in the distance 2 thirsts all latching on to a vaguely what's-his-shaped horde. Like, you can see What's-his outline more than you can see him, as he's just coated in these fucking devil birds. And you can see Zephyr in the distance just picking them off with a crossbow as the entire militia camp is in abject chaos. And Tuco readying your powders and chemicals, and Caleb readying your rifle, and Lucian your spells, as you're all ready to assist Sundragon in defending the houseboat. All of you now roll for initiative.
Alright. I'm gonna use D&D Beyond
Then
right
they're
now.
gonna actually stay.
Actually, no. I'll be right back.
Well,
Okay.
if I die, be sure to loot my body. You'll find lots of good things.
Yeah, you'll find lots of goodies. All right, let me get the
Yeah,
Strixes
you're
sorted.
Probably not gonna die.
Did you?
I had advantage on it.
Hey. You rolled and that's a 20 die, right?
Yeah, 20, and then for initiative, you will add a +3.
Dex.
21.
Okay, thank you. So you'll go. And Zephyr? What do you remember? What you got?
Both got 24.
Okay, yeah. So Tuco will go after you guys.
I roll my actual dice because that's the result you get whenever you roll fucking.
I also got a 21.
Okay.
I got a. I think that'd be a 21.
Okay.
17 plus 4 equals 21.
Okay. a lot of fucking like it seems like everyone on the same battlefield tends to have the same initiative. It's fun. And Keto?
I'm breaking out of this trend. I got an 8.
Alright, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm my own person.
Yeah, you're your own identity. And also, I'll let you keep it this time, but just for future reference, don't make a habit of rolling on D&D Beyond, getting a bad roll, and then just rolling your dice to get a better roll.
I did that by accident.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get more information on what my advantage on initiative was.
I see, okay. Yeah, just, alright.
It's similar to our warning by accident.
Alright, so we're now in initiative order, so we're going to kind of jump from battlefield to battlefield, but...
enough, I run...
Go on.
And funny enough, just so you know, the 21 was on the advantage roll. The first one was exactly the same as what I got on D&D Beyond.
Oh, fair enough. Alright. What's his and Zephyr? You're up first.
I'm pretty much cutting off ones that are on me.
Alright, are you taking an action to remove them or just actually attacking them?
Actually attacking them.
Alright, roll to hit.
I'm just cutting them off.
Alright.
$34, you said hit. Another 34. And a 21.
Okay. Those all hit. Roll for damage.
Uh, 14 damage on the first one.
Okay.
$17 on the second.
Okay.
And 9 on the third.
All right. Succumbing to your barbarian rage, as ichor begins to leak from your pores and orifices, you just start flurrying your edict axes as you slice, just becoming this tornado of plasma blades, and you manage to cut down another thirst.
Oh, that reminds me. How are these things doing? Taking in ichor.
We'll have to see. They haven't gotten a good stip yet.
I'm really worried about that.
Yeah. Bad time for the birdies.
Bad time for us.
Didn't Zephyr?
Oh, is it like that thing where the enemy is magically cool with being genetically modified?
No, remember our conversation the other day when I told you that literally if you touch it, you become it. It's the same if you if you get injected with it.
I don't think it's touching it in your bloodstream.
Yeah, if it's in you, it's in you.
And bear in mind, the first attacks they were making on Zephyr and that was just them biting to get into your bloodstream. But the ones that are on his other side are about to start sucking it out. So now they're about to actually get a taste of the ichor blood.
Oh dear.
Right.
Oh, let's see if they like what they tasted.
Toxins.
Zephyr, you're up.
Alright, was it Gilko?
Yeah, is that the end of your turn? What's this?
Yep, I used all 3 of my attacks.
So yeah, go ahead, Zephyr, you're good.
Awesome.
What?
Awesome.
What?
Who's Gil?
Yeah, go ahead, Zephyr.
Alrighty then. I just Gil can handle it probably, right? Just fighting a swarm.
A swarm of bloodsuckers when the whole plot of this story is that your blood is poisonous, basically.
I mean, that's, that could kill them, maybe. Who knows?
That could happen.
That'd be the reasonable thing to happen.
When they die.
But will they come
and
back?
then they would die, and then they'd become ichor beasts.
Well, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just die.
Nah,
Zephyr,
that
what do you-
makes too much sense.
Zephyr, what do you do?
So I have this interesting idea that may or may not work. I'm trying to think which ingredient to use.
Oh.
So, so since I don't really know these creatures, I can't really. It's just a guess on what would work. They're really cleaned on the gill. So could I? I want to run up to Gil, use my movement, to get up to Gil.
Do you have enough movement to cover the distance? I believe you're 80 feet away now.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I still have the boots active, so it's my.
Okay,
my
just making sure. So yeah, using your piston boots, you start just fucking like one of those horrible like sand monsters. Start like sand surfing your way towards What do you do?
So, bear with me. This may or may not work depending on how these guys treat this. So
I don't like the sound of this.
could I pull out my alchemy jug and give a single word to produce mayonnaise?
Wait,
You know
what?
What?
You
Are
heard
you
me.
trying to give them like some sort of seasoning for it?
Produce lard.
Like, here, sir. Here, you guys. Guesses. You need some seasoning for that meat.
Okay, so just genuine question. What's the what are you hoping is are you just seeing what happens, or is there like a specific thing you're going for?
There's a specific thing, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how these creatures react to what ingredient. I was thinking either honey, mayonnaise, or vinegar.
What are you talking about?
I have a magic jug where if I say a phrase, or if I say a word, or I have a list of things, but if I say a certain word, I produce that for just magically.
No, but like
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, what does the mayonnaise have to do with this?
Okay. Thought process. Would they be deterred by the mayonnaise?
Okay, so I guess
They double their efforts.
is mayonnaise the same as blood? Is it yummy
No.
or is it throw up?
No, hold on.
I love this fucking party.
So yeah, either way.
Mayonnaise.
No way.
I just get covered
There's
in mayonnaise.
no
and
way in a million years you anticipated this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
Figured, why not?
Like,
So
I don't, Matthew, be honest. There's no way you ever could have saw this coming.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be real. I just had to do a bunch of Googling, because I will be totally fair. He actually legitimately was very close to exploiting a weakness of theirs. It just doesn't work with mayonnaise specifically.
well,
So
he chose-
legitimately his thought process is fair, he just chose the wrong ingredient.
Let's see, it's the
You
problem.
chose poorly.
Well, I mean, I already stated
Yeah, no,
mayonnaise.
points for points for creativity. I'll give you inspiration for being a good sport. You're on the right track, just not mayonnaise.
Vinegar.
Fuck!
What?
How the hell are you on the right track?
Well, it basically
Probably
deters them.
honey.
It's like they would be like they wouldn't like the taste or whatever.
No, because legitimately, to give Zephyr some props here, they're bloodsuckers, and vampires are repelled by garlic. So it stands to reason that something that's like smelly and garlicky might repel other blood-sucking creatures, but he can't produce garlic, so he has to produce something similar to it.
Something like
How
that.
is mayonnaise similar to garlic?
My thought process wasn't garlic. I was just thinking the idea of the sweetness of mayonnaise or something like the texture of
Sweet!
well, the texture of mayonnaise. I don't know. Just like the mayonnaise would deter them. But I'm gonna pour mayonnaise on.
No,
Jill,
props for
what's
committing,
it?
and I'll give you legitimate points for creativity. I'm not shitting on you. That's like a creative plan. I like it.
But yeah, I'm putting mayonnaise on what's its.
What's Caro, you watch from a distance on the walls as you ready your plasma crossbow. You watch as Zephyr with his piston boots kicking up sand dramatically sprints towards what's-his, levels his magical jug, and lets out a call. Mayonnaise. And
Mayonnaise. Confidently.
As mayonnaise like a fire hose just coats what's-his and the...
It is, well, like...
This isn't
not even that much. Not even that much mayonnaise, technically, because I can only use 2
Holy
per minute.
shit, what is this?
Boy, don't ejaculate on me!
Gross. Don't say that. You're gonna get us banned.
Sorry.
Zephyr, anything else on your turn?
Yeah, we're too small to get away with that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there's strikes to this. Who cares?
Yeah, so, anything else, Zephyr?
Fuck, bitch.
Who cares? If they ban us, we'll just make a new account.
Yeah, fair. And we'll still have YouTube. Anyways, Zephyr, anything else?
I guess I'll bonus action dash away.
Best fucking turn in the world, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
My work here is done.
Goodbye.
What's-his? You are now coated in mayonnaise, covered in mosquito owls, and then Zephyr promptly kicks sand on you as he sprints away with his piston boots.
Use them as a fucking springboard.
Not invisible anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you are now no longer invisible.
Well, they can see you anyway, so that's not a big
Yeah,
problem.
true, but...
And now everyone can see me.
Well, and that's a problem.
He ran up, doused him in mayonnaise, and
And left. I've got.
God, I remember my days in college. Anyway,
What?
There you go, Strixus.
I'm
Enjoy
sorry,
your
you were
meal.
in college?
we turn our attention to the battle on the houseboat. Tuco,
Oh.
Lucian, and Caleb, you're up. You can decide who goes first.
I'll go first. Since
All right.
I just want to do I'm gonna do my little spirit guardian.
All right, Spirit Guardians. What's the save?
The save is Wisdom 6.
All right.
I will
Sorry.
cast it at 4th level.
Okay. They fail.
Wait, so all my scorpions and snakes and spiders and everything that is creepy crawly is going to attack these sturges.
Yes.
I'm gonna creep out my girlfriend.
All right.
So that's a 4d8.
All right, roll for it. Yeah, they fail the save, so they take full damage.
14.
So that would be 14 necrotic damage.
All right, they take 14 necrotic damage. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
All right, Tuco, since Caleb has seen this before, Tuco, you watch as Lucian, the strange elf woman you've been traveling with, begins mumbling a prayer in Yavik, and you watch as these shadowy snakes and scorpions almost start to jump from the shadows of all the other combatants and launch themselves at the Strixes in the air, who start getting yanked out of the sky by their own shadows given form.
Blimey.
Tuco and Caleb, you're
I'm
up.
gonna creep out my girlfriend, but it's fine.
Yeah, no, for Tuco, he's going to, I guess the equivalent would be casting the Ray of Sickness.
All right. Ray of sickness, ray of sickness, ray of sickness. All right. Roll a d20. You're going to add 7.
Okay.
Oi.
19 plus 7.
Yeah, easily a hit. Roll 2d8, just the dice that goes up to 8. Roll that twice and give me the total.
Find the right one.
It's the diamond shaped one.
Yeah. Alright, 6 and 2, 8.
Alright, so 8 damage, and they failed their con save. So they are now poisoned.
Oh,
wait, aren't they already poisoned?
No, why?
Because they're sick.
Just so you know,
No,
because
they're not sick, they just carry diseases.
Just so you know, that because they failed their save for mine, their speed is half.
Alright, so now their speed is halved and they're poisoned, because, yeah, I just checked, they are not immune to the poison condition. So, Tuco, you managed to get several of them sick enough to just fall out of the sky, and even the survivors start to get very ill and slow and sluggish. Tuco, how do you want to flavor this ray of sickness? Just, like, what does it look like to the rest of the party?
You see him reach into his pockets and then pull out a vial that... let's just say that I got it from my brother. The one in Scourge. As he douses it, puts it on his hands, and then proceeds to just kind of fling it. Like the entire bottle of it.
Alright.
And he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a little bit of powder, throws it, and then that makes it puff out.
I kind of watched this, and I just kind of be like, if anybody understands Skeevy, but throws it to me.
Alright. Side note, do you want to upcast this? Basically, you can use a higher level spell slot to do extra damage, or do you want to just do the basic version?
What's the difference?
It just does more damage, but that means you can't cast a potentially powerful spell later if you need to.
Nah, he'll just go with the regular.
Okay, so nothing changes then. And as a bonus action, you can dash, disengage, or hide, or apply a poison to a weapon or a piece of ammo.
Oh, he's going to apply a poison to his... I'll say,
any weapon or ammo.
I'm gonna say his, light crossbow.
Okay. You all watch as Tuco shows their chemical chops as they mix this nauseating disease chemical together. Tuco, you suspect this may have been engineered by one of the Wulong Shen of Brood Scourge. As you ready the chemical, apply the powder, and distribute it among the thirst, who begin dropping like flies, and even the survivors are left horribly sick. And what's left on your fingertips, you start applying to a crossbow bolt as you load it up into your crossbow. Caleb, you're up.
All right. Well, we all know there's only one thing Caleb can do to a flying enemy.
All right, roll to hit.
I doubt it. I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to get sneak attack on this, huh? Because they're not within 5 feet of an enemy.
Yeah, none of them have attacked you yet, so you're not going to get sneak attack, but you can still like hit them normal. Or if you want, you can wait until like one of them's within melee and then sneak attack it then.
A ready
Your
action.
preference.
Yeah, ready action.
Yeah, I guess Caleb will just cover the party, and when one tries to get near them, he'll attack it.
Alright, so you prep a reaction in the event that one of the thirsts attacks Tuco or Lucian, or I presume the Queen. You'll open fire on them with sneak attack.
Or they try to attack him as well.
Of course. Alright.
Like if one just comes flying, would he count as...
No.
Oh...
And even if it did, it wouldn't matter because sneak attack doesn't trigger if you have disadvantage on the attack.
Well, I'd assume he'd shoot it before it gets within the minimum range. Well, then at that point, they're not within 5 feet.
Yeah, I was gonna say so you can't do both. But all right, so you'll attack if they get within melee range of an ally. Got it. All right. And Caleb, as you start surveying Tuco enfeebling and sickening the thirst, and Lucian pulling them out of the air with shadow magic, you see Caro's already disappeared into the city to go reinforce your allies at the gate. And you try to find Sundragon, as mentioned, expecting that she'll likely be rushing with Caro to the defense of her troops. But you hear this gleeful... And all three of you turn and see Queen Sundragon, her lilac eyes a piercing blood red, as she flings dragon fire into the sky, taking out entire clusters of the thirst. And at one point, one of them is burned and lands on the deck in front of her, and she just throws her sai into its neck. And then as she goes to retrieve it, in this fluid motion, one lands on her bicep to bite her, and she just grabs it by the leg and headbutts it into unconsciousness, as she's entered a barbarian rage and thus isn't thinking strategically.
Oh. God.
Tuco would just eye that like, all right then.
I am going to just make sure that she is okay.
Yeah, and as you can see, she's covered in blood, and you're not even sure how much of it is her own or that of the thirst. She just looks up at the skies. They form a tornado around her and just, come on! And like just keeps flinging dragon fire into the air in a bloodlust.
Sounds familiar.
It does.
Also, isn't 10 o'clock supposed to be our end point?
Yeah, but I have a specific point I'm planning to end it at. Believe in me. Gil, or rather, the swarm on your back drains your blood. Eight, 9, 10, 12. You take 20 damage from blood loss.
And
so I have a feeling that does ignore resistance.
Yeah, that ignores resistance. You just take 20.
Yeah,
no arguments.
Okay.
But as they drain you dry, they detach from you automatically. And you and Zephyr and Caro observing this from a distance, you don't know what happens now. The Strixes just drained a lot of Ichor from and if what you guys recall from Edict and the Summer Ball is any indication, any of those who just drained his infected blood get cut down will become Ichor beasts.
Assuming mosquito Ichor beast is gonna start infecting.
Yep.
Yeah. So if they transmit disease through their bite, they probably would transmit the Ichor through their bite now.
Those on the houseboat are going to descend and attack Lucian.
Use my...
Does 17 hit?
I'm going to use my reaction to do shield.
Okay. With shield, does 17 hit?
No.
Alright. As the thirst descends down on you, you cast up a magic shield and repel them off of you.
Roll to attack now?
Yeah, that's fine. Roll to hit. Yeah, almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, so I'm attacking with the laser rifle, which gives me a +8. 17 plus 8 is 25.
That's a hit. Roll for damage. And this will have sneak attack because they're within 5 feet of Lucian.
Alright, so should I give you the regular damage first in case they have resistances?
They do not You're using your laser rifle, right?
Yeah.
They won't have any relevant resistances, so just the full damage is fine.
Okay. Let me get out my calculator. So it's going to be 3d8. So 2d8. Double 7s. So that's 14. And then a single d8. And then I get 5d6 for sneak attack.
And Caro, you're on deck, so go ahead and start getting ready what you want to do.
That's going to be 37 damage.
37, good hit. Tuco, you, again, not being super familiar with how the party fights yet, you watch as Caleb, this young, kind of standing out kid, doesn't look like he knows much about fighting, just enters a crouch, and then the moment the Strixes are being repelled by Lucian's shield, just starts picking them off with laser fire. And Caleb with a just like entire like clip emptied, basically. You take out the thirst that's harassing the boat.
Annihilated it.
You're like, good job, Caleb.
Caleb just blow. Do the barrels heat up a lot and produce like steam?
Yeah, I was gonna say the barrels are like.
Caleb just blows the steam off the end of it.
Yeah, you kind of pull the barrel up and. As the laser rifle is very hot to the touch. And you can actually see the air around it kind of shimmering. Caro, along with the riflemen on the front gates as they fend off a thirst, Garrow kind of looks at you urgently as you see the thirst that's just drained all the blood, presumably infected from What's-Is. They have full bellies. It looks like they're getting ready to leave. So you either cut them down now and they turn right here, or you let them return to the nest and possibly spread the infection among those in the city.
I don't think I will. I don't think I'll let them do that. I'm gonna use Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
Danger magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what? Yeah, don't remind me.
Alright, Kara, roll to hit.
I'll use it at 3rd level.
Okay. Gotta make sure they go down here and now.
Yeah.
Alright, roll to hit.
What are my modifiers? I always forget. Is it spell attack is the plus to it?
No, you're making a regular attack. It's just that they also have to make a save against the Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
So basically this is treated as a regular plasma crossbow attack. It's just if it hits, you also do Hail of Thorns automatically.
Okay. That was 18.
That's a hit. So roll the plasma crossbow damage, since it's a magic item, resistances don't matter. And let me see if they succeed the save. They succeed the save, so they will take half damage from Hail of Thorns.
Damn you all. Let me see. I gotta find the right dice.
Yeah, no worries.
D12. Bro, where's my D10? There's one of them D10s, I think.
Yeah, there's one. There's one of them.
There it is, yes. That's 12, and then the half damage from the Hail of Thorns. 1 second. That's also 12. So
right,
it's
so
gonna
24 damage?
no, it's gonna be half of that. That's was.
Oh, so 6 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 18 in total. All right. Okay, still a solid hit. You unleash a shot from your plasma crossbow, loading up an explosive bolt as it connects with the thirst. And you're like, you have to kind of hold up your metal arms as you're and sparks fly off of your prosthetics as you can see Caro on the distant walls trying to take down the swarm, as the thought that's occurred to you and Zephyr seems to be occurring to her as well, that you now have a thirst of Strix's infected with Ichor blood.
And as they're leaving, can I use my reaction to hit them?
Well, it's not their turn yet, so they're not retreating yet. But yeah, it looks like they're going to try to on their turn. Top of the round. What's and Zephyr, you're up.
Well, I'm just going to start slicing them.
Roll to hit. You know the drill. Three attacks, and see if you hit.
29.
Hit.
17.
Hit, but barely.
And natural 20.
That's definitely a hit. Roll for damage. You can crit on the last one.
16.
Okay.
Uh, 12.
Okay.
And then 20.
Just enough. What's his? How do you want to do this?
So, as he's slicing, he's just cutting things straight in half as they're starting to go. Like detaching wings here, cutting off heads here.
Flailing.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, of course it's a mess. You have mayonnaise everywhere now. You're flailing mayonnaise.
Yeah, the smell of superheated mayonnaise takes to the air as what's his? You slice, and cut down the rest of the thirst that is harassing you. You look around as the militia camp and those on the wall seem to be repelling the thirst, attacking them. The survivors retreating to the city, getting either far more resistance than they expected or already having drank their fill and returning home. Taking many casualties, they start to return to Chillblains.
As he finishes cutting them down, he's going to shout at the people around him if there's any people still around him.
Yeah, there's militia everywhere, so.
He's going to tell them, get back. I don't know what's going to happen, but this could get way worse. Be prepared.
One of the militia members, a massive red-headed man with dual axes and a hunting net in hand that he had presumably used to try and catch the Strixes. How could it possibly get worse? And Zephyr, you watch as the Strixes' corpses start to bubble and turn black.
Oh shit.
Because they're going to turn into Ichor beasts because they bit me. No, back up.
You couldn't have mentioned that earlier! As you watch as the bisected bird bodies, tendrils of ink shoot out to connect both halves, and rising from the tendrils in the center, an Ichor form of you starts to take shape.
Yeah, because it's your blood.
An Ichor beast that is half What's-His, half Strix, as all 10 members of the Thirst that fed on What's-His replicate his form and become Ichor beasts, as the infection spreads among the Thirst. What's-His, you're now probably in one of the scariest fights you've ever been in.
Yourself.
10 of yourself that are thirsting for blood. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
See, I told you it'd be worse.
Is that what you meant by this is probably going to end in death?
Partially, but also because if What's-His was by itself. Because bear in mind, you guys managed to separate the Thirst into different groups and pick them off in groups, working as a team. If What's-His was charged in by themselves, he would have been being attacked from all sides by 5 Thirsts, who would have been doing 20 damage a turn, and at best he could only cut down 1. So he would have taken bare minimum 100 damage before he could get all of them cut down.
And even then, once he cuts them down, if any of them...
Yeah, then once he cuts them down, they would have turned, and he would have had to fight 50 of himself.
Just one of them is enough.
Honestly,
You have
like, I think
190
if
health.
Caleb hears about this, he's honestly probably going to say to the Queen that they might be the worst people to fight the Strixes.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking the whole time, like, nobody's going to mention it. Nobody's going to mention that you're fighting bloods. Because, like, the Queen doesn't know that your infection spreads through blood, and obviously Lord Ephemeral doesn't either.
We haven't gotten to that part of the conversation.
Also, the fucking mayonnaise.
That was fantastic. You definitely get inspiration for that. That was fantastic.
I told Jacob. So here's what I told Jacob. Let me find my group. So I told Jacob, man, it's a real shame Neon didn't come with us. You missed one of the greatest turns of combat ever. He said, oh? I said, so Gil and Zephyr and Army Sun Dragon got attacked by blood-sucking.
You made the mistake now.
Well, he doesn't know that!
Yeah, shut up. Continue.
In Zephyr's turn, he used this jar that can summon any substance he wants.
Not any substance, but yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna go into all the...
Yeah, like, Barber, stop splitting hairs, continue.
He runs up to Gil being attacked by Strixes, douses him in mayonnaise, and then proceeded to bolt Jacob's response.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh my god. I almost kind of wish I could have seen Neon's
You should tell him now that there's 50 guilds that we have to fight.
Hey, there's only 10 guilds. There's only 10 guilds.
Yeah, why would there be 50?
Well, because there was originally 50 members of the Thirst. It's just that you guys took down most of them before they could suck anyone's blood. Or at least any of you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see what the casualties are to the Sun Dragon army.
Now,
yeah.
Runs the
Well, it's
question
about to get a lot worse, because if they take on his full health, we're fucked.
So do they have 10 times his health?
I mentioned to you guys before, the Ichor Beast take on the properties of both of their host souls. So basically, they'll have all of the abilities of a Strix and all of what's-his abilities.
So,
you're all fucked.
Because it's 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he basically has 10 times his health, which is over 1,000.
Yeah, you could do that.
Good luck! I'm looking forward to next week. I got a monster stat sheet to print up. If you want to see more of my DMing, check out twitch.tv/GrahamCrackers, GRAMECRACKERZ, for my Friday campaign, The Gold Shine Investigations, at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, featuring a party of investigators trying to unravel the cultish conspiracy that threatens to plunge their home into war. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer fighting vampire owls on a houseboat. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly, and support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions, and check out Odd Tornado Productions Official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Human Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That is 5 with a PH, don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link's about to be posted in chat as well. Or on Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Odd Tornado Productions. And follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TornadoOdd. TNO are, in fact, capitalized. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Mondays at 9:30 Central Daylight Time on all the same channels to see our Monday game, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globe-trotting treasure hunters trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods to unlock a valuable treasure, a terrible curse, or the preserved body of an ancient second-age warlord. One of them. Currently having to fight in a pirate tournament using first edition D&D rules as the pirates lay claim to the Spear of Ares.
Hell.
Yeah, hell. You think it's hell now? Wait till 4th edition, my man.
Yeah, as we keep saying, yeah.
4th edition confirmed.
Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week. Man, I'm excited. This is going to be one of my favorite battles to plan out.